Well, friends, in yesterday's lecture, we started talking about literature. Both the lectures, means the part on of discussion on literature and its types and what is poetry, are made available to you through this platform. You can listen to my lectures anytime. So you will realize that your classroom is available to you 24 by 7. You can get access to your class anytime. Now let's go ahead with a discussion on the next aspect. We understood that poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. At the same time, we understood that poetry is the best words in best order. The language of poetry is different from the language that we use in different domains of life. It is different from our day-to-day communication. The language that we use for a conversation, the language that we use for writing what we call stories, then one act plays, or the language that we use for writing your exam answers. The language of science is different from the language of poetry. Now, what makes this language different from all other types of language use? We shall have the discussion on these elements of poetry, which makes it different from all other genres of literature, types of literature. Genre, I said yesterday, the technical term to talk about the types. Genre is the spelling of the word genre. The pronunciation is genre. So there are different elements that make poetry different from other types of literature, especially prose, we can say. It is different from the prose. Now, what is this that makes it different? The first thing that makes it different is the poetic voice. So we shall discuss this term, voice in poetry. In general, you know the meaning of voice. For example, now you are listening to my voice. So it is the term used to refer to the physical ability of human beings to talk. But voice has a different meaning in this context. Now, what does voice means in this context of poetry? Voice does not refer to what you call our sound of speaking. Here it refers to the specific style a poet or an author writes in. So voice refers to what? The specific style of an author. And voice includes the way the poets, the writers use point of view, tone, rhetorical devices, syntax, and all other aspects of language. Just now you heard a poem in Marathi. Now, what makes that poem different from the other use of Marathi? It has a rhythm, it appeals, it has a particular tone. The poet says, Sanga kasa jagaयचं. Now, who is the speaker? So, we need to understand he's talking to the readers, he's talking to the audience. I told you the name of the poet, it is Mangesh Padgaonkar. Now, just like the fiction, you might be knowing a fiction as has a narrator. Means in a story there is a narrator. Similarly, narrator means the person who narrates the story. For example, when we say once upon a time there was a king. Now, who is the narrator here? The third person narrator is there. Once I was going by the road. Here, the first person is the narrator. So every story has a narrator, every fiction novel has a narrator. In the same manner, poetry has a speaker, not a narrator. Someone who is the voice of the poem. A speaker, a poetic speaker is the voice of the poem that we need to understand. Many times, the speaker in the poem is the poet itself. Okay, just now I told you. I give you the example the Marathi poem, Sanga Kasa Jagaयचं. In that poem, we can feel that the poet himself is the speaker of this poem. But some other time, the speaker can take on the voice of a poetic persona. The term poetic persona, you should remember. You should note down in a notebook. Means sometimes the poet himself is the speaker of the poem, but sometimes the speaker can take on the voice of a persona. A persona means what? The voice of someone else. For example, if it is a poem about a tree, about nature, so the tree talks sometimes. Tree, the speaker. If it is a poem of an animal, in that poem, an animal may talk. For example, a poem about a dog, an old dog. So if the dog talks, it is personified. So we have the poetic persona. Means a poetic persona can be a human being, can be an animal, can be an inanimate thing. Okay. And on the basis of this, we understand that voice is, we can define voice as the person behind the words that speaks out to the audience. So this is the definition of voice. Voice is the person behind the words that speaks out to the audience. Now, this voice, as we said, is the person who speaks out the words to the audience. Now, this voice is made up of many poetic elements. How is this voice made up? It is made up of many poetic elements. And these elements include tone, we shall talk about it, imagery, rhythm, diction, punctuation, and many other elements. We shall talk about all these things one by one. So all these things work together. Tone, imagery, rhythm, diction, punctuation, meter, rhythm, rhyme, etc. All these elements work together to give a unique color and expression to the words, to our words. And together they build an overall style or point of view. When they are brought together, the overall point of view, the overall style is decided, is determined. So what we understand by voice in literature is that the voice expresses the narrator's or author's emotions, attitude, narrator or author's emotions, attitude, tone, point of view, and this is done through a very artistic manner, artful, well thought use of word choice and diction. Just now we heard the poem by Mangesh Padgaonkar. You could understand the way he arranges, the way he makes the choice of the words, the way he arranges the words. He repeats, he uses repetition, he uses rhythm, he uses rhyme. What he says, सांगा कसं जगायचं, कणत कणत की गाणं म्हणत, कणत म्हणत. ओके, ते तुम्ही ठरवा. न कणत कणत की गाणं म्हणत, काळ्या कुट्ट अंधारात जेव्हा काहीच दिसत नसतं, हातात दिवा घेऊन तुमच्यासाठी कोणीतरी येत असतं, नसतं, असतं. Exactly the way these words are chosen, and even काळ्या कुट्ट अंधारात. फक्त अंधारात नाही म्हटलं. He doesn't say only अंधारात. काळ्या कुट्ट. It creates the intensity. It talks about the tone, emotions. So what we understand is that a voice may be formal or informal. It may be formal or informal. For example, the author, the writer, the poet may use very formal tone. He may keep distance from the audience, or he may become very friendly. He may talk to you like a friend. Directly say "Sanga कसं जगायचं." It's a very friendly manner. But some authors or some poets may be very formal. Okay. Yes, in many poems we come across this kind of formality. A voice may be serious or light-hearted. It can be very serious, or it can be light-hearted. You come across very humorous poems, or you'll come across very serious poems. It can be positive or negative. A poetic voice may criticize something, find everything negative, or a poetic voice find how life is beautiful. For example, you listen to Hindi songs, Marathi songs, wherein a lover may express joy, or sometimes a lover may talk about his broken heart. It can be persuasive. Persuasive means to change one's mind by logical argument, or it can be argumentative. It can be comical or depressed. It can be witty, very intellectual, or it can be straightforward. Means you may find it difficult to understand the language. It may be objective. Objective means the poet keeps himself away from everything. He talks as he observes. He does not give his personal opinions. Or it can be subjective. His personal opinions are shared. So what we understand through the discussion is that voice can reflect any and all feelings and perspectives, and it contributes to the mood and tone of the poem. So this is what we understand about voice in poetry.